So we are recording this at the new ABC offices. So
Yes,
I
we
just
are.
thought to myself, there's no way that I can have a reunion with you and not bring in Sarah Haynes.
Yeah, you
Sarah?
kidding me? Are you joking? Are you?
Guys, I'm so happy.
Sit your little booty down. Please
I
come
got a
hang
lot
out.
of
My
you.
little booty? Do you want to invite
Your little
me?
booty. Ooh, yes,
Here we go.
booty.
Right back to where you start. Right back.
Zach, guys, it's back. It's
I
us.
wanna
It's the
cry.
gang back together.
Oh,
Guys, we had the best time with
We
GMA3,
did.
and it happened so organically.
The clips replay in my head. Do you remember the time I watched this clip over and over when you went to do an intro, but you like said, and I go, what did you, we both looked at you and go, what did
What
you
did you
just say?
Honestly, guys, pretty much what you'll do is, you dance, you get into it, but this is the twerking part, but the flirting part is like this. You're like, hey, ooh, and then you're out.
I love that the knocked up woman is the one that's like riding your back.
Flirting.
Guys, this was actually life before COVID. Also, by the way,
Oh,
Yeah, that's right.
remember, which feels like
That's right.
a whole
It
different
feels
world.
like a totally different time.
I honestly cannot believe I'm sitting here looking at you. know what? It's so weird because I feel like my little babies are all grown
I
up.
know, it's so crazy.
You're growing up at the same rate as us. She
No.
became a mama.
Isn't
I
that
know.
nuts? You had just had your youngest.
Caleb, yeah.
Yeah, you just had Caleb, and I didn't even have a man then. So, like,
No.
then the baby came. There
Those are
was
small details.
I'm not getting into
Was I a
none
good
of that.
coworker?
Huh?
Was I a good coworker, guys?
You were the best? Are you kidding me, Michael?
We got no,
Hesitating?
Kiki and I got in a one fight one day.
You taught me so well.
You know what?
Really,
No.
you really
What
did.
was the fight
No, she
about?
was incredible. You know what? You were incredible. Both of you were absolutely incredible. So
It was
you
a
were,
OG to a young buck
No, you know what it
combo.
was?
Oh.
One day, no. I was in a bad mood, which is very rare.
It is very rare.
And then I was just like something, and I was not willing to be patient.
You
and-
snapped
You
at
were
my
right,
feet.
though.
We kind of snapped. We kind of went at it a
We
little
went
bit.
at it, but he was right. It was one of those situations where it's like I really do walk in your footsteps, Mike. I know you don't like to
No,
say,
you
we
don't.
obviously I didn't do football, but like, that's an entertaining career. I do entertainment, but I'm entrepreneur as well. Like you do so many things. So you were teaching me something about presenting myself, walking into rooms, how to hold myself, the conversations to have, how to represent. And so it was important what you said. You know what I mean? I
But
really
it-
always remember it.
But I'll never forget that. 'Cause I always felt bad about it because I always felt bad about that. It's like it's like my family. But then I looked at it and I'm like, well, siblings or whatever, your family, you kind of have to. And we were together all day, every day.
Yeah.
I was literally coming off of super early GMA and then doubling up on that right afterwards, and all the stress of that
Yeah.
of that new
That was a
show
lot.
and everything else. I think, but. You were an incredible coworker, and you worked hard.
You work your
You
butt
were
off.
incredibly just like funny, entertaining. You
Creative.
brought it every day. You were creative, and I know I loved it. I love working with you too. I mean,
I love working with you guys as
The
well.
laughter, the amount of
Oh,
like,
boy.
you guys, you have a job to do speeches we got.
ow.
Shout out to Roy Albanese.
I mean, literally doubled over laughing behind the set before we could ever get in there.
It's so true. And we had so many diverse conversations. I remember feeling
Yes.
that way coming up with y'all, that I was always able to bring my world and you guys were able to bring y'all world. Because all of our worlds are so different. Like at that time, I didn't know much about as a mom. And also your background as a producer, how you taught me that. Like you guys all were teaching me and I feel really
We were learning from
grateful.
you
I
too.
was
I
just
was
gonna
learning how
say
to dance. You know?
You guys, that is so pre-COVID dance
We were
work.
learning all
Not
that. See, I'm still doing
Yo.
it. See, I need to hang out with you boys so I can know it's
us
post-COVID
young.
now with something new. But all that stuff, I'll never forget all that stuff. And like the terminology and it was like you brought like a different
man.
vibe. I was old, and then you two kind of made me younger and made me like more
Oh my God.
interested in what was going on in me. Like you had a pulse on like now. And that was important. And both of you, though, I will say that I'm happy that all of us have just continued to elevate.
Okay.
We already
We
have.
really have been on our game, all of us. We can't
But
be
one thing
stopped,
about you, you were
guys.
never shy about giving yourself credit.
Yeah, but
Oh my gosh, guys.
you're hilarious. You're creative. You're always throwing
Yeah.
ideas in. And I
Yeah.
think when you're around people that have that zest for life, because
Yeah.
the beauty in both of you actually is it's a zest for life that shows up everywhere you're at. It wasn't just like, I'm coming to this one job. I can't imagine you guys being any different wherever you go, unless it's 1 minute overtime that Michael's been paid and then he's done.
We are like that,
talking
though. We are
no,
like
it
that.
was not. Like, you know what it is? My mind was like, okay, I got this from this to this and that from that to that and that and this to that. And I wake up in the morning and look at my schedule.
That's
and
it, baby.
I program my mind and my body to have all the energy I need. But it's like somebody unplugs the socket when it's
That's
over.
real.
And I'm like, oh. And
That is real.
I like quiet.
Yeah,
I like
that's what he got from us.
solitude.
We brought the quiet.
but I love working. I love being around people, but I need to recharge because
I
it
agree.
takes a lot of energy for me to be around people.
That's kind of actually all that I'm going to be talking to you about. Everything that we're talking about here. I know you got to get ready to
I
go,
gotta get
Sierra.
going, but you
I
gotta
love
go to
you.
work?
Yeah,
I know, isn't that
But I
crazy?
love your faces so much.
And by the way, y'all don't even know, everybody that's
I love
listening
you.
in, we was all just together at Michael's crib. Michael is an amazing party hoster. We was eating some
yeah.
catfish. What y'all had? Catfish,
Yo,
mac
all
and
the
fried
cheese.
food. It was so good.
You
Michael throws the best parties.
every once in a while.
He also
But-
has one of the most amazing places I've ever seen.
Yeah, right. But we
Just
had
saying.
a good time and we had good food. You two drank too much, but that's another story.
You invited.
And I was playing. Oh my gosh, I was playing spades with your friends.
Oh, yeah,
and they
you-
whooped my ass.
I love
were
your
playing-
faces. Continue.
Love you.
See you later.
You're the
Love
best,
you.
Sarah.
Hey, have fun on the show today.
They really whooped me. I was pissed. They
Well,
did
you know
that
what?
old school player type thing on
All
me.
I heard when y'all were playing cards was you were in there yelling at somebody about not knowing how to play spades. And
when
were-
you got a bad partner, you're screwed. My partner was messing me up. I had to blame my
It wasn't
partner.
your fault. It was your partner.
All right, so, like the true diva that Michael is, he didn't do my pre-show pull-up questions. So I'm just going to ask you
I don't do
here.
pre-interviews.
That is actually a thing. Okay, your zodiac sign, you're Scorpio, right?
I'm a Scorpio. Well, I'm on the cusp.
Do you know your rising and your moon?
I have no idea.
And when you say you're on the cusp which way?
I guess Scorpio, Sagittarius, depending on what chart you look
I
at.
see Sagittarius a lot.
I
in
see
you.
a lot of Scorpio too, and it used to be. It used to
What
be.
parts of you that feel very Scorpio? You're really funny like a Sagittarius, though.
Okay, that part could be Sagittarius, but the Scorpio part of me is if you wrong me, oh boy, you don't want to do that.
That's Scorpion.
Yes, but it served me well in football because I
Okay.
can switch like on the field. And I didn't have to be mad at you. I just did the competitive side, right? So I switch it up on you real quick and get serious. Then I can back off and be the Sagittarius. So I think I'm on the cusp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, on the cusp. Now, what is your love language? I think I know what your love language is, but if you've ever heard of this, it's kind of like either it could be, it's a couple of things,
Acts
right?
of-
Oh, you already know.
Oh, yeah. I would probably say acts of
Service for sure. I already know that's
yeah,
number one
like,
for you.
Like I like
That's you,
like
down.
taking care of people, making sure they're good and all that stuff. I don't want anything. I would probably say like physical touch, hugging
Yeah,
somebody.
yeah,
like
yeah.
that's important to me.
Yeah, I feel like knowing you, that is 100% true.
What are the other ones?
The other ones are like words of affirmations, which you're not hard to give out a compliment. You're also
I
very
know, but I don't
complimentary
like
of others.
compliments. Makes me uncomfortable.
Oh, you don't like? Yeah, you don't
I
actually,
do
because whenever I
not.
compliment you,
Ooh.
you're like,
Yeah, you know when you're saying
you
that,
get all
when you
cringe
even
about
saying
it.
that stuff, I'm like,
You
I
really
don't
do
like it.
that. What does it do to you? Why do you hate that?
You know what I think? When I was, I don't know. I've always just like I'm the youngest of six, and maybe because I didn't get attention or so what I get it, I'm like, mom and dad were like, hell, he's the last one. I don't care about this kid. No, they were fantastic. Mom and dad, I love you. So, dad, rest in peace.
Oh my gosh, you're hilarious.
But I don't know. I just
Yeah,
never liked it.
it's not
And
your thing, yeah.
I remember my first year ever. I played football at Fort Bragg, North Carolina. I'm 7 and 8 years old.
Yeah.
Then we moved to Germany, and I didn't play football until like my senior year of high school.
Yeah.
But 7 years old, playing defensive end for the Falcons. And I was a really good player. Really good. But all the parents would like clap. And they go, Michael. And it made me cry. I just cried the whole game.
Oh my
And I'm not just
gosh.
talking about like, no, I'm talking about like, my puppy just got lost in the woods and I can't find it, cried. ball the entire game.
That is so interesting.
And the coach would pull me out and say, Michael, are you okay? What's wrong? And then I go right back in there and start balling. But I just never liked that. So when people do it, I don't know, it just gives me a sense of,
I need to talk to you more about this because my son actually does the same thing. My son, he likes being out in front, but the moment that someone is like acknowledging it, he literally will cry or he'll be like, it's whatever this little thing is. He has that same vibe too.
yeah, that I don't know what it is.
What's a question that you wish that people asked you more in interviews? Because you're always interviewing people.
I know. What's a question I wish people asked me more in interviews? I don't know. Surprise me.
Okay.
Oh boy, I'm scared to ask you that, to tell you that. Of all people, if you do it, I'll hurt you.
Last pull-up question is, who's a star that made you feel starstruck?
Oh man.
And you can't say me.
No, you were number one, by the way. You were absolutely number one with you.
You done met everybody.
Yeah. And like certain people at a certain time, like Denzel, first time you meet Denzel, you're like,
Ooh.
Denzel! Like, that's Denzel. First time I met Julia Roberts.
Oh, she definitely has that vibe too. I never met her, but I feel that way about
I
her.
tell you, I had the most amazing
Oh, my
experience
gosh.
because the first time I interviewed her twice.
I love her.
The first time I interviewed her, the Beverly Wilshire Hotel in LA, in this Pretty Woman suite on like the anniversary of Pretty Woman. So I'm filming it with her in the suite, interviewing her where she shot that movie. And then afterwards, she said, "Would you like a glass of rosé?" And I said, in my head going, well, hell, it's Julia Roberts. Give me that rosé. So, yeah, you're right. So I got the
Oh, my
rosé.
gosh.
We drank a bottle of rosé.
Oh my gosh,
And we
this is
just sat
amazing.
there and talked over a bottle of rosé. And now her birthday is the same as my twins, October 28th. So I send her a case of rosé every year. And yeah, so her, and then the one dude, man, I met him once after he won an Oscar backstage. And I was like,
Who?
Brad Pitt. Was something, man,
It was a
since
weird vibe.
Legends of the Fall, where he's Tristan and he's on that horse and his brother Samuel gets killed and he goes out there and he
Wow.
back through the camp. And
I love
you know,
this performance
and I'm
of
like,
this.
I see why the brother's wife fell for him. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I can excuse that relationship. Shouldn't have been, but I excuse it. But yeah, man, Brad Pitt was another one. I
Yeah.
was like, okay, I like this. This dude is cool.
Yeah, some people have these vibes where when you meet him, you just be completely freaking gagged. I was
Yep.
gagged when I met Will Smith too. I was a kid though as well, but I was like, I know it ain't Fresh Prince. I know it ain't Fresh Prince. We're talking about it with Sarah a little bit, but I always talk about this with you. You juggle so many different things, Michael. I mean, career, your family, all of it. At this point in your life, what has stopped mattering to you and what is more important than ever?
What stopped mattering to me would be like a little thing that used to bother me. Like I used to pay such acute attention to everything. And it's a gift and it's a curse. The gift is that it allows me to do things really like think quickly on the fly. You know, if something happens, adjust really quickly without people, say, in front of a camera even noticing. Somebody who's watching it won't even notice. But in life, that's great, but sometimes it can be very taxing on your energy because
Yeah.
you're constantly paying attention. If I'm in my car and my guy is driving, I'm like, dude, come on, notice the traffic pattern. I'm like looking 2-3 lights ahead, like move over right now so we don't get stuck behind that truck and then we got to stop to move over. Like
Yes.
all those just little things like that I just let bother me, all those little small details that most people let roll off their shoulders. So I'm trying to not even care about that stuff.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
really means
yeah.
nothing. And the most important thing is family, especially watching my kids grow up, young and old, and out of college, in college.
Yep.
It's like I'm just looking at all this stuff and realizing just what really matters in life because life goes so fast.
It do.
And you look around and you're on the, somebody reminded me, a friend of mine reminded me today, like, you know, Black men lived in an average age of 72, and you got more time behind you than in front of you. I'm like,
Oh, my
well, just
gosh.
put me in the grave already.
Yeah, like they've literally got
Jesus,
it
gonna make
carved
me
out.
go and just quit everything
Yeah.
and just go sit in a room, in a dark room by myself and just be depressed.
I'm
And-
howling.
So just like family matters, friends matter, relationships matter. You can get a job, you can make money, you can do all those things, but you can't make more time, you can't make more like, you know, the love for your family and all those things, because that's
Yeah.
what they'll remember.
Yeah.
My kids don't really remember a toy that I bought them. Heck, they barely remember anything you buy them.
They
But
remember the memories you make together.
The time together.
You've said that your motto is hustle like you're broke. And in talking to you about this, it makes me think about also my life, because I feel like I'm the same way. We both are like,
You hustle.
but then now I'm asking myself the question of, you know, what is hyper functioning? I think a lot of people in our generation are asking ourselves that. We're, you know, gone are the days where you can stick with one industry. First, it was a unique thing. Now it's
Yeah.
a mandatory thing. You have to diversify. How do you find the balance? Does that model still push you, or has it had to change over the years?
I think it's evolved,
Yeah.
but I still think I'm driven not so much for hustle like you're broke. You know, I said that to one of these athletes that we manage.
Yeah.
And this was a while ago when I was still like, you know, hyper focused on just trying to see where I can go. And now I hustle because I just want to see how far I'll go. I almost look and think to myself, if these people continue to trust me with these things, let's see how far I can push them. You know what I mean?
Right. Let's see what we
I
can
keep
do.
on pushing. Ooh, gave me a little more room. So that's really what my motivation is now, just to see how far I can go. And honestly, to be an example for other people who come from not just sports, for other industries who want to make a change into something else, to see that you're not only able to do one thing in life.
No, for
if
sure.
you want to change something in your life, you have the ability to change that at any point that you want. And you just don't have to stick with being a football player, because at first I always felt I was the football player. And then when I retired and I wanted to do other things, people were looking at me just as this football player.
Yeah.
And it was frustrating because I knew I wanted to do so much more, and I felt like I could do so much more. And I had
That's interesting that you always knew that.
Yeah, but I knew it, but I didn't think other people saw it. And I would try to do things and try to, you know, integrate my way into things. It was kind of like, yeah, you know what, you're a football player. You had enough goodness over there. You don't need enough goodness in another industry because you were successful over there. Just stay in your lane.
Yeah.
And that was always frustrating to me. But then I got very fortunate in doing several things. Of course, the daytime stuff, but that started. You know, of course, I went on live as a guest, and that kind of got some eyeballs. But I would go on Ellen a lot. I went on Ellen DeGeneres' show.
And people got to see your personality.
Quite a bit. People got to see my personality. A lot of people don't know I was actually offered the opportunity to do my own show
Wow.
at the same time that I was kind of
would
doing
love.
live. And it just ended up working out that I got the live job.
Stay at home with Strahan. I'm ready for that
Whatever it was
today.
going to be, but that was like my first time really cracking
Yeah.
the code. And I have a friend of mine. This is I guess a lesson that I learned through that process. A friend of mine who's up for a big job now, like a really big
Good
job.
luck to them.
Yeah, thank you. In every way. And he called me yesterday and he was so nervous and in a lot of ways. And he's going, well, you know, I think if I take it, but if it doesn't work out, and I was like, it's going to work out, dude. It's going to work out. Well, I'm getting more responsibility. And I'm like, yeah, because that comes with growth. You get more responsibility with growth. I said, if they didn't think you could do it, they wouldn't offer you the job. They wouldn't hire you, especially without doing an extensive search. They came to
Yes.
you and said, you're the guy. We're not even looking at other people. So I said, you have to trust and believe in yourself the way other people believe in you. You have to,
Yes.
you have to see in yourself what they're seeing in you.
That's
Because a
right.
lot of times we don't see in ourselves what other people see in us. So when I was offered to do my own show before I did live, I was like, okay, I'll try it on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now I look back and I'm like, why was I ever doubting? I just need to trust if other people are telling me that I can do something, believe in myself that I can do it, because they may see something that I can't see. Because sometimes you're so close to the trees, you don't see you're in the forest.
Yes.
Gotta
And
get out of your own
it's
way.
true, the constant balance between seeing what others don't see, but then also being able to receive what people do see and being
Yeah.
able to expand upon that. Let's take it back to the beginning.
But can I say something about
Oh,
you? You said hustle like you're broke. You hustle like you're broken 5 lifetimes, though. I mean, woof.
Oh my gosh.
Gee, I'm watching the birds. I'm watching this show and I'm watching that show. And I got this movie coming out and I got this TV show coming out. And I'm figure skating in the Olympics. Like, what aren't you doing?
You know what, Michael? We are the same way. Like, we really come from that. And I feel you on the energy or the skill set can remain the same, even if the the reasoning has evolved,
Yeah.
right? Like at the beginning, it was definitely like a lot of survival mode. Like
Yeah.
and you just don't realize
Gotta
that
make it.
I'm out of here. Why do I keep running for that reason?
Yeah.
Even though I like running, I want the reason to be different now. And for me, it's very similar to what you said of, well, let's see how far I can take it. You know, let's see if I'm interested in that. If I feel I have a vision for that, why not let it keep going? As opposed to always feeling like you're on a, that you have to. It changes. So I really relate. I relate to you so much.
And I'm sure a lot of what you do, you want to make people around you proud. You don't want to disappoint anybody. That's why I think everything that you do and everything that I try to do is like max effort. When I'm in it, right? And that, because I'm like, I'm in it. I've got to go out here and just put it all in there, because if it doesn't work, then I've learned this too, if something doesn't work, I could take the criticism of it if I know I did my best at it.
That's it.
But if I am not putting everything into it and then I get criticized for it, or if I'm trusting somebody else with something, I feel like I know it doesn't fit and it isn't right, and then it doesn't work, then I'm mad.
Yes.
Because I'm like, I should just trust in my gut, because I could take the criticism as long as I know I'm responsible.
That's right.
But when I put in somebody else's hands and it doesn't work and I'm getting criticized for it,
That's
bothers
crazy.
me.
No, that very much bothers me. But there's something that I'm picking up on that my mom used to always say this to me. She would be like, you weren't an athlete, but you think like an athlete. She
Yeah.
used to tell me that, because I feel like it is this mindset of discipline, of max effort. Like, I don't know what you call them, if you one of them people that have, it's the 3 C's or whatever it is, but what do you think is the mentality that made you a successful Hall of Famer that also makes you a successful entrepreneur?
Well, first of all, I love your mama.
She's the
Sharon, I
best.
love your mama.
That's my mama's the best.
She's I love you always had your family with you, which I think was one most impressive thing. So I always love that. The things that I think have helped me in football, to help me beyond, it's nothing to do with me. I think everybody has talents. Like football, I wasn't the biggest, wasn't the strongest, wasn't the fastest guy, I wasn't any of those things. I had a desire to be great, and I had a desire to work. You're not going to outwork me. I was not going to quit. So if it's you or me in my head, it's going to be you going down before I go down. That's just the way that I had it in my head. And that's kind of not saying that I have that competitive of me or you in this business, but I just have the ability to have the work ethic. I've carried the work ethic over. And I think the biggest thing in success in my life in every aspect, people.
People
understand people. Like I see people. I was somebody who was moving furniture and cutting grass and doing all that stuff, and people just dismiss you. Washing dishes, they just dismiss you like you're not even a part of, like, this is your lot in life and you're just unseen. So being in those positions has always made me feel like I need to show people who are often and most likely unseen, feel like they're seen by somebody who's in that position. And I don't dismiss and discount the value that they add, because without them, none of this stuff happens. Everything works together. And I think that gets missed. So I carry over being a great teammate on the football field and making people feel a certain way and understanding people to get the best out of them to television.
That's a leader. To me, that's like they teach it in school. You know, that quality of what it means to be a leader and how to get people to engage, believe in a vision, but also know that it's a shared one. That's like really, really remarkable.
But in our business, so it's like, oh, who's the headliner and who's this and who's that. And I always looked at it and said, if you have success, there's enough credit for everybody. And you're going to have a great day. And it's going to be great about you, and I'm going to have a great day. It's going to be great about me. There's going to be days you talk more than I talk, because I've seen people talk about, I was on the show and this person was counting how much I talked, and then they didn't talk, so they had to balance out who talks the most.
That's crazy.
But I have this philosophy. The less I talk, the less of a chance I can screw it up.
Yo.
I'm going to sit right here and shut up.
But we would have so much fun on the show where we were like, I ain't got much to say. I mean, we would actually have moments doing GMA3, we'd be like, look, today, guys, take it.
Yeah.
Because I don't want much to say. And that was actually a relief.
It really was. You don't have to carry everything. Yeah. And then it's like, I'll be back here tomorrow, and tomorrow I'll be better. But today, I've never had that ego to be like, this is my show and you're going to do this. And if this person steps on the line, I don't care. Like, I've never had that. And I think sports taught me that you need other people, you need to have a team, and if the team's successful, there's enough credit for everybody, man.
Bingo. I mean, you got drafted by the New York Giants in 1993. Wow.
Oh, man.
That was the year I was born.
You know what?
That is so funny.
Thank you, Kiki. I appreciate this. I'll see you later. Oh, how you gonna say that,
Oh my
man?
gosh.
Are you serious?
When I read that doing the research, I was like, oh my gosh, 32 years ago.
Oh my God. You were serious?
But the real question is, what fountain of youth are you drinking from?
Please.
Because I feel like you damn near look younger now than you did when you was in football.
Back then I was carrying some baby weight. So I was a little bit heavier.
You look so great, Michael. It's insane.
Thank you. Thank you very
welcome.
much.
You're
Especially for an old man who started his professional career the year you were born. Jesus.
I mean, when that happened for you in your life, somebody could say, wow, you made it. I mean, but what's the difference between landing on that team and then proving that you belong there? Because I think people assume when you make it to the NFL, because people assume this about any entertainment, you made it. But it's like, no. There's a lot of work to sustain it.
Yeah.
What did that look like for you?
Hard work, doing extra, showing up when other people wouldn't show up, working when people are going home, and you stay in that weight room, and you stay in the ice tub, and you stay on the treadmill, and all these things I've noticed from every guy I saw had a very successful career in all the other sports. They always work when other guys stopped working. When other guys went home, when other guys said, oh, I've made it. I've seen so many guys get a contract and go, oh, I'm in the league now. I'm good. I was never that guy. Plus, I always wanted to prove and live up to the contract. Like, I never wanted owners of the teams to look at me and think, oh, we paid this guy all this money, and this cat go out here and now he's just going to take our money and not give us what we believe in him. And I had parents who I never wanted to disappoint. I never wanted my parents to look at me and think, our son is just out here just going through the motions. That's embarrassing for them.
Yes.
They got friends. They go to church. They stop at the store. They have people talking. Nah, I can't do that to my parents. But that was always the motivating factor to me.
Yes.
And as long as I played, I wanted to be relevant. Like I could have kept playing football and just been a guy on the team, but I'm no good at just a guy on the team. I have to be the guy. I want to motivate, but it's very hard to be on a bench and then go tell a guy, you need to go do this.
Yeah.
So I realized I had to work extra, stay on the field. So when I tell a guy, we got to do this and we got to do that, it meant something. In practice, I have to practice as hard or harder than these young guys, because when we get in the game and it's tough and we're tired and I'm looking at them and say, come on, let's step it up. If I didn't really put in the work during the week and they see me over there chilling going, young guy, you take my repetitions in practice. I don't need to do it because I'm a vet. They're going to look at me and go, why are you out here telling me this? And he's just sitting in practice, he's not doing anything. Always conscious of making sure that I did what I told other guys to do.
You talk about managing other players and, helping people that are in this field. What would you say is the difficult thing that people don't understand, right? Because there are a lot of things that the NFL has helped with, like, financial literacy, helping dudes when they leave. There's stuff that's input in the corporation to help. But for us on the outside looking in, what are some of the biggest challenges of being in an industry like the NFL?
Oh, no guaranteed deals. And now they got a lot of guys are getting deals with a lot of guaranteed money. But most of these NFL deals you see, or at least back in the day, is, oh, this guy's going to make this many millions. That's not guaranteed. You're basically year to year to year. So you have injury, you have the lack of ability that you may get cut. Maybe have a bad year, they let you go. You don't get all that money. So we're year to year, no guarantee. So to me, that was always the motivator as well.
Yeah,
and so I just think that the game has evolved in so many ways, financially, especially for a lot of guys. But I think that really what made me and kind of made me focus is that it was, if I wasn't doing that, what was I going to do? When you come into the NFL and you walk into a locker room and you see the other guys, it's not college. I'm on scholarship.
Yeah.
I'm going to go out here, I'm going to do my little practice thing, and I'm going to go over here and chill on the yard, look at the pretty girls walk by. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. In the pros, if you don't make it as a pro, you don't have a job. Like, and it's grown men. That was the biggest thing. I walked in that locker room, 21-year-old kid, back when you were born, back in 1993. And And I was like, oh, yeah, hey. And then, like,
Oh my
Lawrence
God.
Taylor walks in. I'm going, oh, my God, he's a legend. Phil Simms, a legend. You know, all these guys, these legends. But everybody, not those guys, but
Yeah.
the guys who were like around my age in the league 2 or 3 years playing my position, not everybody's happy you're there.
Yes.
Because you being there means somebody else got to go home.
That sucks, man.
And then they got friends who don't want them to leave.
Yeah.
So as a young guy, the rookie or so, you take a lot of junk to stay in there, and you got to fight. It's the one thing you got to do.
Yeah.
You got to fight. They'll never back down.
Yeah.
And I've gotten into plenty of fights,
Yeah.
literally fist fights.
Right.
Because that's like part of the survival. But once you earn respect and once you become confident in your abilities, I was always one of these guys. I never worried about them bringing in a guy who played my position because if he takes my job, that means I wasn't good enough at my job.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing
yeah.
to do with him. That's
Yeah.
on me.
And then I also think about this, and I'm curious what your thoughts about it, because there's playing the game, there's being good at the sport, but then there's also being the face of a brand. Like at the end of the
Yeah.
day, the NFL is a corporation. I think people don't understand that even about any entertainment industry is like there is a whole part of it where it's you're the face of something. So when you're talking to these young dudes that are coming in the NFL, what is the conversation around who you want to be and how you want to represent the brand? And, they always talk about football players with the whole helmet thing, making yourself known,
Yeah.
becoming somebody that is known in the field. How do you approach that?
To me, authenticity is what sells people. You can't try to be something you're not. And then, you see a lot of guys who go out of their way for attention, and a lot don't care if it's good attention or bad attention. I think a lot of guys get a contract, make some money, and think, I'm just going to act a fool, and I don't care because I got money. I got this, I got that. But we know, and I tell guys all the time, when football's over, I was 36 when I retired. When football is over.
That's pretty young, or is that?
That's young.
Yeah, I'm about to say, this 36 is young.
It's a long time. 15 years is
It's
a long time to
for
play
football.
for football,
Yeah.
but it's young in life.
For sure.
And I say to guys all the time, I say, when it's over, they'll let you come to the game, stand on the sideline, and maybe go up in a box, but they don't write your check no more. So you're acting up now. You're ruining your reputation now. Life goes on so much further than this game. You need your reputation because no one wants to be around somebody with a bad reputation.
No.
It just doesn't work because if you want to have a bad reputation, maybe a guy who's your level, maybe not even on your level, but who people like to be around, who brings something to the table, they'll bring him in before they even come in, sniff being around you. And so your reputation is the one thing that you have that you need to hold on to, that you do not ruin. You develop relationships while you're in the game. And now it's a different thing. A lot of guys want to be businessmen on top of being an athlete. And I get it 100%. I was kind of like backwards in a sense that can't say I had a plan.
Yeah.
But football was number one for me. That was my baby. That is where I said, I don't mess up my primary work for something secondary. Mm-hmm. So I always focused on football until it was over. And then all that focus went to something else.
This is important to me with people across the board is, you have this thing where everybody, they want to show you everything they can do. And it's like, all I asked was for you to pour the cup of tea.
Yeah.
And it's like, you already trying to make a badass espresso and the tea's not even poured. You know what I mean? Because people will do that. And it's,
I'm sorry I messed up your order at this coffee shop, Kiki. Now you're going to throw me under the bus here?
That'd be the thing where it's like, just do the first thing right. Do it at least sufficient. You know what I mean? And then add on the next thing.
The problem is, everybody thinks you just walked in and they gave you a job. Everybody thinks I just walked in and they gave me a job. They didn't see the failures. They didn't see the no's. They didn't see the no callbacks. They didn't see the, come, we'll meet with you just so we can get a picture and tell our kids we hung out with you. Did you bring the Super Bowl ring with you?
That's so true. That one sucks.
Yeah, that stuff
because it's like, this is just a fan party.
Yeah. And
that one's bad because nobody respects your mind. They never think you have more to offer to the table.
Exactly.
That one stinks for sure.
I always tell these guys now, everybody wants to do these businesses and all this stuff, and I got more businesses than basically I can keep on top of. But it's all fun stuff that I want to do. But I tell guys all the time, I said, while you're playing, develop relationships. Meet people. Be nice to people. Develop these relationships. And not you're doing it for a plan when you're retired, But when you are retired, or maybe you're developing these relationships, and there's some guy who likes you and successful and goes, hey, I really want to teach you something. I really want to be a part of this. Maybe in the off season, because you have 6 months off, you say, hey, I just want to come shadow you. Go learn something. Show people you're interested in something else.
Yes.
That way, your fame, if I were to call somebody now and say, hey, I'd like to come in and meet, I can get in, right? You can get in the door.
Yes.
I said, when you go in there, if it's something you're interested in, show that not only can you get in the room, but you deserve to stay in the room. So know your stuff.
Yes.
Don't just get in there and blah, blah, blah. No.
That's the guy that I was
Know your
playing
stuff.
spades with at your house that told me he, played in football. I can't remember his name. You know his name.
Hey, oh, yeah.
He was at the, and he
yeah.
stopped.
Justin Tuck.
Yeah, Justin Tuck, and became
Justin
now he's
Tuck.
his stockbroker.
Yeah, Justin Tuck played with me with the Giants. Then he went to the Raiders. He won 2 Super Bowl rings. He was my understudy.
Whipped my ass in spades.
He whipped you in spades because you're partnering with me. And then Justin retired, and he called me. He said, Michael, they want me to go do some football commentary stuff. I don't know if that's what I want to do, and I'm thinking about going to business school. And I was like, Justin, that part will always be there. If you really think you're interested in something else like business, go try that. I didn't know the guy was going to go freaking graduate from Wharton Business School. And then now he runs the whole big sports thing at Goldman Sachs.
Exactly.
He's amazing. And a matter of fact, he turned 43 this year. He hits me
Super
up.
young.
'Cause we went on his golf trip, right? And this fool, hey man, my birthday's coming up, it's milestone birthday, and I'm going on this golf trip. Will you? I would love it if you would come. I'm like, absolutely, milestone birthday. He turned 43. That ain't no damn milestone.
Right, I'm like 43.
Yeah.
45, maybe even 40,
Yeah.
50.
But
43.
43 ain't no milestone. Unless there's something going on with you, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. But he's great. But I love about Justin is he's very easy
His
to
wife
be
is
around.
great too. Shout out to her.
She's
awesome.
Lauren is awesome,
she's great.
and she does a lot of charity degree in like charitable works and all this other stuff. But he's like goes back for the trip back to Alabama to play golf. And then Sunday church at the church he grew up at, and I'm like, only go to Alabama for you. Yeah, I haven't been to
That's my
Alabama
kind
since
of
the
fooling
Senior
around.
Bowl back in the day, But I love him. It's
Yeah.
great to have teammates like that. And OC's doing great in Europe and England.
Yeah.
Doing
I
a
love
lot of
going
stuff.
to your any of your parties that you host. You have such an incredible group of friends, and
Good
I
mix of different
soak up
people
everything.
in different industries.
Oh my gosh, from across the board, fashion to media to sports. It's
Yeah,
really
real estate, a
awesome.
little bit of everything.
That real estate ain't no joke. Let's set the scene. Okay, 2007 Super Bowl, 45 seconds left against the undefeated Patriots. The Giants are down 4 points. People on the sidelines have said you were running up and down the field telling everybody, we are going to win this.
Yes.
How do you think you learned to respond to adversity? Having
Gene
situations
Willie
like that?
Strahan Sr. My dad. My dad was a man.
Yo,
He's a man.
military, right?
Military, retired major, 82nd Airborne Division,
Woo!
commander of the 1st CEC, which is Combat Equipment Company in Mannheim, Germany. And,
Wow.
and my dad was amazing. And he was just positive. And I say this all the time, but and I'll say it here again. When, not if. My dad never said if to me as a kid. He always said when. So it was like, when this happens, when that happens. I mean, I'm a kid growing up in Germany. I'm 13 years old. I'm big boned, And
I can't
my
with big
brothers
bones.
and their friends like making fun of me. They call me Bob, right?
Oh my God.
The booty on back.
Booty on
And
back
now
is crazy. The girls are paying for that now. No.
Yeah, they paying for it now. So I started working out. So I started doing like Jane Fonda. I bought Jane Fonda tapes.
Oh man,
I did.
that's
Herschel
fire.
Walker was doing push-ups and sit-ups. That was a big thing back then when he was at University of Georgia, the football player. So I started doing all those things, start working out with my dad. And by the time I was 16, my dad was, you want to play football? I watched it on TV at that point, hadn't played it. He's like, yeah. Sends me to Houston, live with my uncle. And he said, I'm going to send you back. You're going to stay with your uncle, and you're going to get a football scholarship.
Dang, that's crazy.
I hadn't played. I'm like, okay. I was just so naive. And then when you make it to the pros, when you do this, when you do that, when you win the Super Bowl, he was always win. He never said if. So when the time's running out in that game and we go down by, 4 points, I literally go up there, hey, fellas, 17-14 will be the final score. Believe it, and it will happen.
No!
One touchdown, and we are world champions. Believe it, and it will happen. And it was literally channeling my father. And I didn't realize until after we won the Super Bowl, and a little while later, I'm sitting around going, how the hell did that happen? I was like, man, my dad, Gene was always like preaching that, and he was 100% on the money. But I think it helps me in life now. Because if there's something I really want to do, I don't believe I can't do something I really tell my mind to do.
But you have this, even you just looking at me reliving the moment and saying, I believe that I could win the Super Bowl. Like, that is crazy.
I can get you to try out right now. You want to go?
The fierceness of you saying, I can just imagine what was going through the veins of your teammates, because you're literally like, it will be.
Yeah.
Like, that certainty is powerful.
Yeah.
And that came from your dad, man.
Came from my dad.
That's so dope.
Came from my dad.
When you think about your pro ball years, what parts of your character remained that helped you be who you were in the sport? And what things did you say, okay, that's got to go? And I think about like a lot of these athletes that we see, and obviously love Tom Brady, respected Tom Brady, but it's a different thing shifting from being someone that's playing and deciding I'm going to retire everything that went along with me being somebody that was playing. What was that journey like for you?
That was tough at first.
Yeah.
Because you're just so used to that's what you did, like all those years.
Yeah.
And I learned to channel aggression, right? So we could sit here and have this conversation on the bench. And I'd have been like, oh, defense, hold on, KK, I'll be right back. I get my helmet, boop, boop. And then all of a sudden, pop, switch, and become like a lion in the jungle where I have no love, no concern for anybody. You're on the other side.
Michael!
I will hurt you and not feel bad about it in 1 second. But then come back, take my helmet off, sit down, and have the most loving conversation with you. That was just that switch.
That's so cool.
So I use that switch in a different way now. But not just channel aggression or anything like that. But I use it in a different way to like, okay, I got to be ready. Then I can get myself together and come back and be ready. But that I've had to leave, I guess, you do have to have a certain amount of macho. Like you in that locker room, I'm in here with 60 dudes.
Yeah.
Somebody got to be an alpha.
That's a lot. That is a lot. Also, I'd love to be there.
But yeah.
Also, maybe we should have done this there.
That may be the funny thing you ever said to me.
I'd like to see it.
Oh, God.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, God. So, yeah, you know what? You can't say that to me. Stop it. Stop it. So,
oh, my gosh.
So literally being in that locker room with 60 guys, and somebody's got to be the leader. Somebody's got to be the macho. Somebody's got to be the man. Somebody got to be the one that's like, yo.
Yeah.
And I do miss that part, and I love that part. But it's really interesting because it's not always the biggest guy. You know?
Yeah. It's the biggest attitude, I guess.
It's just the attitude. It's the energy that you bring. It's the fact that somebody knows when you look at them, like, I'm watching my language here, but it was a different, like, I remember I gave all the pre-game talks and all that stuff. And one of the networks came and said, hey, they asked for PR guys, could you, and the PR guy comes to me and said, Michael, they want to air some of your pre-game speech on the network. So could you not curse within the first like 10 to 15 seconds, give them like 10 to 15 seconds of no cursing? And I was like, get the out of here. I'm going to, you know what? I'm a different thing. This is not, you guys, this entertainment. For me, this is life or death.
Yes.
And that was the mentality. So I leave behind.
Yeah.
But I do channel the switch on, switch off in order to juggle everything and to compartmentalize it and the focus. Because what I realized, what I loved, you can be in a stadium with 80,000 people. It's like you filming a show in front of a studio audience, right?
Yes.
80,000 screaming, but I get out there and I'm so hyper focused that it shows how focused you can really be if you really want. I don't hear 80,000 people. I hear the linebacker changing the play for us if he needs to. I hear the quarterback over there saying whatever they're saying. I can even hear the guy in front of me breathing. I can't hear 80,000 people until the play is over, and then it's like they crank up the stereo and all of a sudden you hear the people. But in between those seconds that you're focusing, all that's gone. You hear any of it. It's amazing.
Oh my gosh, that seems so
Yeah.
thrilling. I mean, how do you, obviously you've done so many different things. How did you approach defining yourself beyond football? And how much of it was intentional of rewriting the narrative or integrating the narrative?
I don't think that it was intentional in certain ways. I knew when I was done playing football, I had a job in football. Working at Fox. That was already done. I actually had a contract a year before I retired. But everything else, I never looked at kind of defining the narrative. I just kind of felt like I wanted to do more than just talk about football for 6 months and then have 6 months of sitting at home, like wasting away. What am I going to do? I can only play so much golf. I was
Come on.
young. I could.
That golf be having y'all in chokehold.
Yeah, it still kind of got me in chokehold. But there's only so much of that you can do, and I felt like I still had a lot of too much energy and too much creativity to just sit in the house.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just started trying different things, asking to try different things, putting myself out there instead of worrying about being embarrassed. I would just say yes to stuff that I knew probably wasn't gonna do, but at least I should try it to say I did it. And by doing that, learned a lot of things along the way by failure. I learned a lot of things that I didn't think at the time I wanted to do, became successful, or taught me something that helped me become successful in something else. So getting out of my own way, not worrying about being cool, failure, success, but just try different things and say yes instead of saying no because I'm scared to try something new.
Yes.
And I think that kind of rolled itself into people seeing me do things in a different way that was not what they usually saw us athletes do. So they said, let's try him here. Let's see if he can fit here. Let's see how outside of a sports audience, do they really like him outside of sports?
Yeah.
And then it just kind of snowballed, but all from saying yes and being uncomfortable and taking chances on myself.
I love what you're saying too about trying things, because I think there's something that people don't often think about when it comes to evolving as a person and evolving as in your career. Sometimes you can't overly design it. You really have to be open to it coming. That's what actually how you find the legitimacy in it, is that, I didn't try to pre-program this. I found myself inside of this. And you actually have your own company, Smack. We got Smack, SMAC, Smack Entertainment. What made you say, okay, now it's time to actually take it one step further outside of now becoming this, media personality, but to actually building a business?
Well, I think not playing football growing up, not thinking football was my life work, made me come into football, but also having a mind for something else in life. I just kind of felt football is what I did at the time. But after that, I always wanted to do more. And so when I retired, I had a manager here in New York from the football side, but then football was over. So I lived in LA, I was doing Fox, and I would go by Constance Schwartz is my business partner now, but I would always go by her office. And we've been friends now for 31, 32 years. But she was at the NFL for 10 years, moved to LA to work, and we always stayed in touch. Every time I went to LA, which wasn't very often, I would go to her offices when she was working for other companies and hang out. Well, now she started her own company. I would show up. She'd be talking about she'd be talking in her office, doing some work. And I asked, what are you working on? She work on this and that. And I always had opinions. Well, you should try this. Or maybe this and that. And she finally, after a while, because I was bored, like I had all these months and you're having to schedule and I had nothing. Like, what do you do with nothing? She finally said, Michael, I love you. I appreciate you coming in here. I appreciate you trying to help out. But you either got to be a part of this company or you got to stop coming in because I can't take it no more. Basically, paraphrase it. That's what she said. So I said, okay, I'll be a part of the company. So we end up having Smack. It's been like 15 years now.
Oh my gosh.
And
shout outs to Constance.
And it's just been amazing because I think she is so brilliant, so smart, so forward thinking, and she's a great cultivator of relationships and people.
Yeah.
And through that, management company, myself, Deion Sanders, Aaron Andrews, Travis Hunter, Common, Wiz Khalifa,
wow,
the Bella Twins. So just, kind of keep on.
The Bella Twins.
Yeah.
I love them. We talked to them at GMA3. I just saw them recently at the Super Bowl.
They're great.
Love those girls. Yeah.
They're fantastic. So just in a smorgasbord of other, Kurt Menefee and DeAndre Jordan, and just list just keeps on growing. So that is kind of just been something. It's kind of funny. I remember I was like, this is really weird. Constance calls me and said, Wiz and Snoop are going on tour. And she managed Snoop for 7 years day to day at one point. And she said, they're going on tour. You need to come down to Florida, watch the show, and then I want you to give notes on the show. And I'm going, Wiz and Snoop? You want me to give notes? So I go down to the show, and I watch the show, and then I go backstage, and Con basically is like, and I'm like, huh? She go, you're managing now. Like, you got it. So I'm very honest in the notes, but it was interesting to see these guys go, okay, yeah, you're right. All right.
Because you know what you're talking about.
And that's the thing. You know what? Sometimes because it's not something that you grew up doing or you've been in the whole time, but you get into it late, you think, oh, I got to sit back. But a lot of times what I know I've had to deal with in sports and in entertainment, television, and in all different ways, from contract to finances to just PR, all these things, you've gained so much experience that you can use to help other people or give advice.
Uh-oh.
And you got to trust yourself that you freaking know it, because we come in
Palmer
late.
Management.
There you go.
I just came up.
I'm telling you.
With a new job.
You'll be amazed at how much experience and how many things you can help people with that you may not have felt comfortable with, but you've experienced so much.
Wow.
And that you just trust yourself. And I've learned in all these different businesses, finance business, I'm in the finance business now.
Real estate. You taught me so much on real estate.
Like, all these things that I knew nothing about. And I just had to go in and found out, hey, you know what? It's very similar to sports. It's very similar to this business. Everything's very similar. The language changes.
Yeah.
But the ideas are very similar.
Yeah. And now you and Constance Shorts are getting ready to do y'all's podcast together.
Yeah, we got a podcast we're working on. I don't have a name of it yet.
Yeah.
But it's going to be...
it's going to be so good.
It's going to be great. And it's going to be funny. We're going to talk about everything. Business.
When you think about your top 3 guests that you... Like, what would be their type? What type of person would you be wanting to talk to? Obviously, I'm sure many. Okay, me.
You'd be perfect. No, and I say that in all sincerity, not because I'm just sitting in front of you, but in all sincerity, because I think you encompass so many worlds in one. And there are very few people like you, Kiki. That's what I'm saying. I'm watching on this and I'm watching on that and I'm watching this. And you can do everything. And it's very tough to do one thing right and be great at it. But you're great at all these things. So you're a perfect example of someone who doesn't limit themselves. And so I think for our podcast, it's going to be a lot of fun. Trust me, Constance and I, you know, it came about because both of us would sit here, we'd get in these meeting rooms and we would just we'd probably be meeting with people about serious things that we kind of go at it on our own. They're like, this should be a show.
Yeah.
I'm like, we're not doing TV shows, but we'll get around to a podcast maybe. But I think talking about interesting conversations, motivating conversations.
Yes.
Insightful conversations is what it's really all about.
I mean, people getting a chance. I think obviously people love you and they get to see you on TV shows. But as always, when you're doing daytime in the structure that it actually is, you can only go so far.
Yeah.
The conversations the segments are 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Yeah. You know, there's only so much you can say.
Got somebody your ear gonna rap.
You know what I mean? But me having had so much unlimited time with you, you're going to be able to inspire so many people because you are a wealth of knowledge and you are such a great leader. So it's like, you know, again, I just feel like people are going to love this podcast.
But I'm silly.
And you're funny.
See, that's the
crazy
thing.
and funny too.
And it's funny because when I get I go to work and when I'm at GMA and Fox, I am like the cut up. I'm like the class clown, and then I'm also like the guy who will poke at people and like get on people. Crazy. And then when I go home sometimes, I'm like, man, I gotta be serious. And my kid probably look at me a little bit more serious than I am half the time. But yeah, it's a little weird thing. But I absolutely like your podcast, like doing this.
Yeah. And
this is like your natural element, but it's good because you have more room to breathe.
Yes.
In TV, you don't have much room to breathe.
It don't.
And you can show a little hint of personality, but not all your personality. You can say a little of this, but you can't say a lot of that.
It's true. It's true. Also, I want to talk about your menswear collection. Oh. Obviously, you have your collection by Michael Strahan.
Yeah.
But you've been doing the fashion thing for a while.
10 years.
Yeah, you've always, so, I mean, what are some of your favorite things that are getting ready to come out that you have on your line? But also, what made you realize that this was a lane that you also could dominate? Because you have been dominating it.
Well, I think it's when you start out off in football, obviously you got to go on these road trips and stuff. You can't show up looking like a bum, man.
Right.
You got to come right. I mean, but I gotta say, some guys, they think they're coming right, but they ain't coming right. They got suits that the suit is clean, but then they move and it's like a chameleon. It changes colors with every reflection of the light on the sun. Like, dude, I don't know what fabric that is, but you need to go ahead and take that back to the lizard you got it from.
I'm howling, not the lizard.
But it was crazy. So just being in sports and being in all that stuff, it's like a presentation.
Yeah.
Like I learned I would dress well going on the road and put on a suit because you're going on a business trip.
Mm-hmm.
And I always loved these coaches like Tom Coughlin, who was like, yeah, wear a suit on the road.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going in your sweats. Like, we're going on a business trip. He was teaching us more than just being an athlete. Teaching how to be a man when sports was over.
Mm-hmm.
And so being on TV every day, suit. I'm wearing suits all the time. And it's like, well, you know what? I love that. Like, I love fashion. I love the suits. Why don't I create my own? You know, instead of depending on somebody else to go in and try to create something they think is in my style.
Yeah.
So with that, 10 years ago, we created Collection.
Yep.
By Michael Strahan. It's been doing well 10 years. Now we're going into 100 Belk stores.
Yeah, that's
and
so
Belk
awesome.
online and Belk.com online. So the business just continues to evolve, continues to grow. We're doing home goods. We're doing all these crazy things. And it
That's
kind
so
of
fabulous.
blows my mind, Kiki, because here I am, this kid who just was happy to have a job and not have to move back in with my parents. And I look back and I'm going, wow, life is crazy. And you never know where you're gonna end up, and just how I feel like a lot of it I could say I would love to say I made all the right decisions and I was brilliant and all that. No, I've been very, very fortunate, very lucky to make the right decisions when they were made, but more than that, around the right people to help me along the way.
Because it takes a team.
Yeah, it's around the people you put yourself around.
And with all that said, life can still throw so many uncontrollable things our way. And this is, it's a good thing, right? Because Isabella's now back at USC.
Yep.
She's feeling better. She's cancer free.
Yep.
But she did have cancer.
Yeah.
So that was crazy. I mean, I remember when I saw that news and I was blown away, man. And I already know you and your character, how much, how helpless you probably felt. Mm-hmm. What did you learn from that situation and how are you feeling now? Because I imagine the trauma of that, even when you've moved past it, it's still kind of,
that never
stop.
goes. You know what? I learned that in life, sometimes you gotta let go. You gotta pray. You gotta depend on prayers. You gotta trust in doctors or whoever can handle a situation, because that's one of those things completely out of your hands. Mm-hmm. And that was the worst part, was feeling helpless. I can't fix this. You know, if something goes wrong at school, or I need this or that or that. All right. You know, you need a ticket to this concert. You can't get them. Dad'll help you out. You know what I'm saying? You can fix whatever needs to be fixed. In this case, it was no just fixing it. And you wake up in the morning, when it first happened for the first month or so, I'd wake up and go, oh boy, that dream sucked.
Yeah.
And you realize, oh, this is not a dream. This is real. And it was devastating, very devastating, and very scary, because you don't know the outcome, if it's going to be positive or not. You know what you're hoping for. You know what you're praying for. And even now, she's, thank God, cancer-free, back at school, crushing it, doing well, loving, back to her 21-year-old life.
Yep.
But at the same time, every 3 months, she gets a scan, and you still worry. You know, you still worry, even though doctors feel very good about it, you still worry. I mean, it's never far away from your mind. And
Has she changed?
I think so. Yeah. And she was always a sweet kid, but I just think that this gave her some sense of appreciation a little bit more at her age. Mm-hmm. And I think that she really wants to help people, because she did the whole documentary on ABC. Yeah. And she was vlogging at first about it, because she couldn't find anybody her age when she was going through this. So she decided, I'm going to vlog about it. And she found one kid, Greg, who didn't hit her back when she reached out to him, because she saw this young kid had it. And Greg was the captain of the LSU football team, safety. And so, but she didn't hear back from him, so she kind of said, I'm a vlog, and just throw it out there and kind of get it off her chest. And one of the ladies that she connected to was like, oh, my grandson had it, and he had surgery, he's this and that. It ended up being Greg's grandmother. And the reason Greg didn't reach back to her, because Greg's situation of surgery wasn't as successful, in the sense that it gave him some impairment and other issues. So he was battling back to come back from that. And, but yeah, so that was like to understand that and to see the community that she was able to build, I think gave her a great feeling about what she was doing. And she knew she was on the right path. And I think it gave her this whole thing about giving back and really helping people.
Yeah.
And I've never seen a documentary that she did. I mean, I've heard people say, Michael, it's great, man. I'm so proud of your daughter. And I'm like, thank you,
hard,
thank you, thank
for you
you.
to watch?
Yeah. I mean, I lived it. I lived it once. I think at some point, maybe I'll go back and I'll watch it. But it would be tough to watch that because this is like real life. It's your kid and you're watching them go through it. And to me, it brings back memories of some of the experiences that I had with her and watching how she was in some of these situations that it would just break my heart to see it right now.
Yeah, I'm so thankful to God that she's good.
Thank
and
me
that you
too.
guys have gotten through that.
Me
and that
too.
they had you
Thank
to lean
you.
on.
Thank you.
Other exciting news is that,
What's that?
you're a grandfather.
Yeah, I am. I'm an old man. My grandchild was born in 1993.
Uh-oh. So what do they call you? I mean, you was
I
joking.
was joking.
You was joking about them calling you Big Papa.
Yeah, I'm got to come up with a cool name,
what they gonna call you?
My little man, Onyx.
Oh, Onyx. How old
Onyx.
is he? He the same age as Leo or older than Leo?
No, he's younger than Leo. Leo's what, 3?
3.
Well, Onyx is going to be 2. He's going on 2. But he just got a haircut. Like he had a big puffy fro, and then they cut it down, and then they left it for a few weeks, and they cut it down some more. And now he looks good. He's got a nice little fade. But he looked good before. He looked good all different kind of hair. But yeah,
It's so cute when the little babies had their own little haircut.
yeah, I love it.
That's so
I love it.
cute.
But you know what? He's already a kid after my own heart. He loves cars.
My son loves cars too. I actually thought it was so unique. Apparently, that's what all the boys do.
Well,
I'm like, really?
I'm hoping
I
it's
thought my son
unique.
was like unique. But then
I think
every
he
little boy is
Every
like,
little
he
boy
loves
doesn't-
cars.
Not every little boy loves cars. I'm telling you right now. Our kid, your kid, and my grandkid are unique and
My
refuse.
son is obsessed with cars, and he loves Lightning McQueen.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, I gotta come to an end because you're a busy guy. You gotta get back to your other jobs.
Are we done?
Before we
You
leave,
throw me
though,
out the building already.
we're gonna
Golly.
play a game. Are you ready for a game? I do it with all of my guests, and pretty much
You gonna ask me questions on all those cards? Is this rapid fire?
this is kind of like rapid fire.
Okay.
So basically, it's time to say what we really think about each other. I'm gonna throw out a prompt, and we'll decide if it's giving Kiki or if it's giving Michael. Are you
Okay.
ready?
Oh, this is easy.
Okay. Who's more competitive, me or you?
Giving Kiki.
I cannot believe that you're saying that. And you played the
Abso-freaking-lutely.
most competitive sport. That's crazy.
No. Those days are long gone. That was survival, as I said. I'm trying to make a living.
Michael is so fake. Okay. Who is more likely to be going off in a group chat? Me or you?
Like going off?
I think both of us are quiet. We're both watching.
Yeah, I'm kind of
I'll
listening.
never say much in a group chat.
Nah, that's me then. Oh, Michael. Yeah, that's me.
That's you.
Because usually I start something in the group chat and I do like the Homer Simpson in the bushes. I throw something out there and then I slide back and let everybody else fight it out and
That
sit back
is
in the
so
corner. Like,
funny.
yeah.
You're crazy. Who is most likely to accidentally reveal a surprise?
Oh, Kiki. Absolutely.
I get too excited.
Yeah.
I get way too excited. Okay. Who talked more in the commercial break? Me or you? Obviously me. I don't even know why I asked that. Michael will be so tired of me, but can we just talk about that schedule and how it's actually the most undefeated schedule? You have to get up at like 3, 4 a.m., but you're done by noon.
Who, me? Now?
You not.
Now?
With GMA 3? That's how it was
Oh,
for me.
GMA 3, yeah. We would finish. What
We
time
would-
did we shoot that show? No, we would finish about 10, 11 or so.
Done.
Yeah,
That
done.
I miss that life.
Yeah, I know.
It was crazy to get up early, and then Michael got me so on point that I would work out before I came. You hooked me up with your trainer.
Well, you lost
I would
your
wake
mind.
up
I
at
wasn't doing that
3:30 a.m. I would go to with your trainer. I would work out before coming to the set at 5 a.m., doing my glam for 2 hours. We on there at 7, do the 2 shows, out at 11.
Yeah,
That was the
it
best.
was it's a great schedule. Great work if you can get it.
Okay, last one. Which one of us was the crew's favorite? Be honest.
You want me to be honest? you sure you want my honesty?
Yes. Honestly, I'll admit, Michael's everyone's favorite. He just has this quality.
I did not say that.
He has this quality about him. He's just so lovable. I love him. You love him. And
No,
I'm so
you know
happy
what? Crew is family. And we get all the credit because we sit here in front of the camera or whatever, microphones, but the crew is the family. So I always believe in taking care of the crew. I believe in, springing for lunch, springing for breakfast, doing anything. Who did that just? We just had. I just sent the whole group to. I've got a box at Barclay so they can go see.
Period.
New Edition, Boyz II Men, and Tony Braxton. And I wasn't even in town, so I was like, here's a box. There's food, there's drink. You go enjoy yourself. Because I believe that if you give the people around you, really make it all happen, things that they appreciate outside of the job, then they'll give you everything they have in the job. And that's important.
These are the kind of people that I get to call mentors. I'm so lucky to have you, to know you as a friend, as a collaborator, and happy to have you as a guest on Baby, This is Keke Palmer.
And as a grandfather, because you were born the year I started working. I love Keke Palmer.